Where are you at?
Peace, family. Give all of y'all a second to get onto the live. Peace, 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 peace. Happy Monday. Tuesday. What's today? What's today? Monday? Happy Monday. Peace, family. We're going live today. First, to thank y'all. It's a day of celebration. We made it to 70,000 followers on IG. So thank y'all so much for all your love and support. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for putting your friends on, your family on. Thank you for tagging everybody all the time in our posts. Thank you for helping to continue to heal yourself and others. So thank y'all. We made it to 70K because of y'all. So thank y'all so much. Because we made it to 70K, we are doing a sale on our bracelets. So Fulani bracelets and our tribal bracelets are on sale today on the website and in store for $7. Typically they're $10 to $15, so they're on sale for $7 because we made it to 70K. And that's, not just today, it's while supplies last. So if they end up selling out tonight, then that'll be it. But if they're available tomorrow, we'll keep them up there until the ones that we set aside for our 70K followers are gone. I'll show y'all real quick what they are, and then we're going to jump into some information because I know that's what y'all come here for. So this is one of the bracelets. 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 This is one. Again, we don't have a lot of these, but they are on our 70K $7 bracelet sale. So and we're open right now, so y'all gotta bear with me for the noise because we got customers. All right. No, we're not in New York. People been asking us where we located. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, let me take that one off the shelf. It's like a little RBG Fulani joint. And then this. So if you're interested in these are on our website. These are Fulani beaded bracelets. And to find them, they're under the 70K sale because we made it to 70K followers. But what we're talking about today, you gonna hop on the live with me, Mikael?
Okay.
We're gonna talk about our experience at CIAA.
Oh, boy.
So, if you follow us, you know that this past weekend, I might not say. This past weekend, we were vending at CIAA. Give me that box so we can sit it right here. And boy, oh boy, was it an experience.
Quite the experience.
What do we usually do with our time? We're usually all here together on some chill mode. Now we work,
listening to good music.
Yeah.
Music that's healthy for your conscience, that actually uplifts you. I'm starting to realize how far away people are from being conscious.
Right.
You know, there's some people out there claiming that they woke.
That's cool. Let me get that detergent.
And I'm pretty sure they have, their experiences that would verify such, feelings within themselves. But
I'm gonna sit with you.
But I'm sure. How do I say this? The power of thought. Thought is being influenced every day. Why are you allowing your thoughts to be influenced in these ways? CIAA is supposed to be something that brings us together. So we should come together for upliftment in some shape, form, or fashion, or love, or unity, or something. You know, there should be some kind of feeling of camaraderie, connection, where you can look at your brother and sister, and you don't have to wonder if they are aware, or if they are still trying to build a future that's suitable for their infants, their children. Because from what I was seeing, people are so carnal-minded, they couldn't understand what was going on. They were giving away free tickets to BET, this organization across from us, right? They were giving away free tickets. And everybody was lining up to get a health screening and their picture taken. Now, black people, I just want to remind you that we have the best organs. There is no white, we cannot take white organs, but they can take black organs. And they're taking your picture and your blood type and giving you a screening. So they're trying to find out everything they can about you. But they're not thinking about these things. They're thinking about, let me go to BET. But what has black entertainment television done for you? Has it given you something has it given you positivity? Has it, how do I say this? Because I need to get comfortable. Because, once again, I'm gonna let you take over, John. I gotta go get the.
Okay, so one of the biggest things we all suffered from was the energy that was being created by the music. There was a day when we were there, and literally there was a little girl who was probably 7, and she was singing to Cardi B beat. She was saying she was like Cardi, and she was saying how she's just about getting money and all this kind of stuff. But it was a 7-year-old girl, y'all. It was a baby. And it was the music was so destructive, not just to ourselves, but to the children. And it was literally our whole team was there at some point. And all of us were like, is this for real? Are people literally really doing this to themselves and to their children? And the reason we wanted to do a live about it is because one, we realized that we're in our own bubble. We're literally around each other all the time. The people who come around us, who come to our store, the people we're exposed to are woke. You know what I'm saying? They understand what's happening out here. And realizing that everybody doesn't. Realizing that we do have 70,000 followers, and out of the 70,000, most of y'all probably don't really understand what's going on. So we want to kind of start to focus on toning it down a little bit. Not toning it down, because a lot of y'all do understand we need to keep bringing the truth for y'all. And we need to keep exposing the truth for each other and building each other, but also understanding that there are a lot of y'all who are on a lower level frequency. And we can't forget that you need this help, this work as well. Y'all, just keeping it real, you can't be out here having your babies thinking that everything is just about getting money. You can't be out here thinking it's okay for your babies to be hearing, fuck. Sorry about that. Somebody tried to call me live. That it's okay for them to be hearing fuck everybody. That's not okay for your babies. It's not okay for you or your babies to be hearing about sleeping with multiple men or being side chicks and things like that. That's not healthy. And when I tell you it's not healthy, I'm telling you that we were at this place for 2 days. After 2 days, our whole team was so thrown off. I'm talking I had to come in and lay down in our meditation center and just lay and try to clear my mind. I'm talking all of us were on edge with each other, but we are typically not. And that was just from 2 days from listening to this type of music. And y'all are listening to this every day. I can say for me, probably for you too, Mikhail, I don't listen to the radio in my car. I don't turn on music. I know people say like, oh, I listen to meditation music, I do this. I don't turn on music in my car. I let my mind be clear.
I'm gonna tell you, I turn on music, but I turn on music for the channeling properties of the music. What are you channeling in your universe? If you know that you are utilizing your mind at all times, and you're introducing these thoughts to your mind, what are you channeling? What are you trying to create? So while you're listening to music, I want you to think about music as a spell, an incantation, because that's exactly what it is. Words. What are words? How are they spelled? How are they spelled? Spell. When you spell a word, they are telling you what it is, right in front of you, but you take it for granted. And so you look at a thought for something other than what it really is, which is magic. Because where does a thought come from? You have to understand, in order for you to receive thoughts, that means something must be paying you attention, sending these thoughts to you. Where are the thoughts coming from? Because none of these thoughts are ours. They're all shared. We are in an ocean of emotion. Even as we walk through the air, we are surrounded by all of these beings, the unseen forces. So when you influence your thoughts in these ways, where do you think you're going to take yourself? And once you finish hypnotizing yourself completely, how do you escape the prison you've created for yourself? Because that's exactly what's happening every time you create an incantation without giving it an intention. They have the war drums in the background. You listen to "fuck these niggas" and "kill this bitch" and all these different things, right? And then you see it happen, and you're so numb because you've already accepted the thought. Mm-hmm. You can't fight because you've accepted the thought. There's no reason for you to fight. You listen to it all damn day.
Then you wondering why your kids depressed, why they trying to kill themselves. You've been letting them listen to fuck you, fuck that, kill yourself all day. And now they feel like that inside of them, about them. That is their reality. You've allowed them to create that as their reality.
And now we have these things now, since they can't, and now they're trying to destroy us using symbolism. What's this new character, Moo? What's the character called?
Oh, the little crazy thing that's telling the kids to kill their parents.
Now we have a little crazy creature telling kids to kill their parents, trying to hitting them with a subliminal message. It doesn't matter how innocent some people may look at it like it is. You have to understand what symbolism is. There's a reason we wrote in hieroglyphs. Because a symbol is embedded in your memory beyond time space, because we are built from sacred geometry. We are created through the golden spiral. So first we became frequency, then we became matter, and then the matter took the shapes, and those are the shapes that we already know. So that's why symbolism already comes to you so easily. So I'm not sure exactly, because I really haven't taken time to really study this creature, but I shouldn't have to. It would be foolish for me to go study it, because there's no reason for me. I know it's evil. It's telling them to destroy you. Destroy their gods upon this earth, because as parents, you are the gods of your children. You're their first gods. You're their first ancestors.
And y'all need to start acting like it, because what I've been observing, I mean, y'all done forgot that y'all are God. And so you're not making your children treat you like it, and you're not behaving like it. You're not setting any parameters for them to understand that you are. And I'm not talking about like, oh, just make sure you discipline and your kids listen to you. I'm talking about making sure that they understand, first off, making sure that you have your children's true best interest. And when I say best interest, I'm talking about understanding that you're developing a God.
I'm about to really teach them about thought, because I'm about to break it all the way down.
That you're developing a God. Yeah. What you're putting into their bodies, what you're letting them listen to, what they're reading. We posted today about how to develop your child's mind. But what they're reading, but what you're talking about in the car. That's why we posted that today, about what you're talking about in the car. Instead of playing music, are you influencing them so that their minds are not being distracted by everything else. Are you doing that? Because people will wake up every day and be like, oh, it's the schools. Oh, it's the white man. Oh, it's the system. But what are you doing?
All right.
Because it's not everybody else when it's not you doing the work.
Now let's bring them the solution. All in one go. All in one go.
You got to do some of the work, y'all. You got to remember that you determine what you putting in your children's mouths. We had people literally coming up to us during this CIAA thing. I had baby girls, 16, 17, telling me like, yeah, I have heavy cycles. I'm bleeding 7 days out the month. I have cramps. I can't go to school. And I'm like, oh, well, let's talk about yoni. They're like, what is a yoni? What is a yoni? But they know about everything else. They know about the music. They know about Cardi B. They know about the Kardashians' boyfriends. And they know all of that. But y'all not teaching them this simple shit. And it's on us. We have to do it. We do know how to do the work. Because we know how to teach each other. I think the point is more so not that we don't know how to do it, but we're making decisions not to because we're doing everything else. And we got to eliminate some shit to make the other shit happen. That's why I'm telling y'all, cut them radios off. Cut them radios off. That's easy. Cut the radio off. So then instead of listening to the radio, you talking.
What kind of discount you got?
We got the discount.
Instead of listening to the radio, you talking about what's going on with your black mind.
I'm 1 minute a day.
What's going on with the food that you need to be eating?
Read the scrolls and the tablets they used to.
What's going on in this book I just read?
We can get you back on.
Teach that.
Come on now.
This morning, me and my son woke up and I let him do playtime or whatever. He's into building. And he did some building. And then we did meditation. He didn't get to go, oh, I'm about to go watch TV. No, we do meditation. My son can sit, he's 2. My son can sit on the floor and he tells me, mommy breathe in, mommy breathe out. Mommy breathe in, mommy breathe out. That's easy for you to do with your children. That's simple. That's just taking your time that you're doing one thing and doing something else. Those are little simplified changes to make improvements in yourself and in your family.
Where'd I put mine?
You ready, Mikael?
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. I was trying to open this up.
All right.
All right.
What
So
you sell that by the ounce, by the pound?
I know a lot of people often say, this crazy thing that's like they often. Can we turn that down a little bit?
I got you.
So I don't want any distraction at all.
See all that in there?
At all.
See all that in there?
In any shape, form, or fashion. All right. So
What do you eat?
I know everybody often brings to people the problem. So we brought to you the problem. So we're going to bring to you now the solution.
So you can cut it in half.
We're going to talk about thought and how thought works.
Try that too.
All right. The left brain
Where we at?
is logic. The right brain.
So you have speakers that come in? They come in here, or do you do it someplace else?
Is creativity.
Do you have a schedule, or you have?
The right brain
We usually
Yeah,
put it.
the last one we had was Dr. Apple. So what's the feel like?
is the first brain.
Herbalist. He came through. He's well known. You're familiar with Dr.
Okay.
And how you can prove this is creativity is rapid.
Or how do
Okay.
I find out about?
Creativity is rapid. It happens, and people have to come to an agreement of whether or not such creativity was even acceptable, right?
Okay.
So that then states that then the logic then creates the logic. The logic is a consensus. This is what we've agreed, what we've accepted. So because we've accepted these things, right? I'm just going to give these short notes. I don't know if it's coming in. Is it coming in backwards? It's coming in backwards, man. I got to write backwards. This is about to be interesting. I might really have to. Or find a way to reverse it. You know,
Put it up against a mirror, and
then reverse it like
back,
that.
and it'll
You're
reverse.
right.
That's all us thinking together.
Yeah, I got to find a way because, and you're going to send it to. That's
We had
genius.
them
It's
here.
still genius. It doesn't even matter. You know, because I'm going to start drawing pictures too. So it doesn't even matter. It's the reason I was writing this, is just to get used to using it. Because I know that we're people that need to see symbols. We have to see symbols. Even though we are auditory people, we're visual people as well.
Right. Absolutely.
That's a part of our creativity. That's a part of our creative power. And every time that we take one of these aspects away, we're losing somebody because somebody needed that aspect. All right? So the right brain was the first brain. When the right brain and when the right brain was separated into the left and right hemisphere, that's when we had all these things that's when we had all of these things become more solid to us, more physical to us. The left brain is what dictates what we can and cannot do in this realm. So if you can overcome the left brain, you can change this realm. That is what really knowing yourself is, knowing that the creative force within you is pulling. It's like pulling the sword out the stone, just like Arthur, King Arthur. Isn't it funny? The lower three chakras. What was the brother's name? Brother Panic said that, right? The lower three chakras. Pulling the sword out the stone. He's the author. You are the author of your own universe, but you can't be if you're logically thinking like everyone else. Okay? You can't be if you're logically thinking like everyone else. So I'm going to break down how we're going to escape this paradigm. All right? White people have created something called races. We never knew this before. We never knew this before. We never understood this concept before. We had to come to this concept. We didn't create this understanding. We just knew people as a people. And we understood them as the name that they went by because that was a family of people. But we didn't create a race because now we're running for something. What are we running for? There's got to be a finish line if it's a race. Because why creating the English language in itself is creating contradiction within itself. So now you're thinking two different things and don't even realize it because even if you go back to Latin, everything meant this. It was all simple. There was no mixing of the words. No three words. No one word meant five different things. And there's a reason for that because manifestation can only occur if you're focused.
10, that's 30. And it's
Manifestation can only occur if you're focused. So now, this is what they've created for us. So I want you to celebrate
You gotta-
because I have the solution. All right? People is what we are. This is logic. I'm giving you logic. This is the logic they've created. Okay? People is what we are. All right?
In order to find out who the
A person is what I am. A person is what you are. This is wonderful.
Once you find that out,
All right?
then that's your road to recovery.
So we know that somebody who's white will also be a person. So we now can categorize us as people. So the same way we categorize cats as feline, we're going to categorize ourselves as people. Right? Now we're going to go to the breed. What breed of people are we? We're Hebrew. We're Israelites. We're African Americans, right? We are the ones that they are claiming are coming to a point where we're going to come into ascension. So we are what they would call the children of Yahweh, the children of Jehovah, the children of Adonai, the children of Allah, the children of the Most High God, the God of God, Lord of Lord, King of Kings, creator of all things seen and unseen. So if that's what they're calling us, right? Logically, that means that we are the children of God. That means that we are God's as well. And now you're looking at yourself as a God. Logically, you can't go back now because it makes too much sense. Right? Logic. Now, the logic now says, what kind of people are white people?
Okay.
Caucasians,
My email.
Edomites. They are what we call human. They call themselves human. They relate to that terminology. And what have they made humans? They have made humans inferior. They have made humans something that you do not want to be because they cannot teleport. They cannot fly. They cannot lift a car over their head. They cannot read minds. They cannot save a life. They cannot be a superhero. They cannot create the next invention that changes the universe, because they're not a quantum physics genius and all the, because they're human. So they try to get you to believe that you're human as well, but then they tell you that you're only 3/4 a man. Well, it makes sense, right? Because you will have to be part man to be God, right? Because the physical body is a shell. So this is the physical body. It makes sense. So as inhabitants of the physical body, part of it has to be what they would consider physical. So we're 3/4 what they would consider human. And what's the rest of us then? God. Or 2/3. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sorry. Whatever. It doesn't matter. They'll change the damn rules in front of you.
That's 3/5.
3/5. It don't matter. 3/5, 2/3. Does it really matter? We know that they still call us inferior. The fact is, why are we not 100%? What are we that we have to be anything but 100%? That is disgusting. So, the left brain thinks in like these little rigid shapes. All right? I'm telling you this, right? So that way you can understand this, right? It's going to be like kind of like triangles almost. Triangle squares almost like things. That's how the left brain pulls in the information. All right? Okay? The right brain pulls in information in spirals. Okay? Okay. When you combine them, they form the flower of life. All right? Listen here. I'm not about to sit here and try to draw it. So I'm just going to leave it on the paper like this. They form the flower of life. All right? In the flower of life is a vesica Pisces. Right? There's a little shape. Oh, that's a terrible vesica Pisces. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Yeah. Whew. I got to at least give a try. I got to at least try to draw. You know, because I'm just trying to incorporate something new in my universe here, guys. And I'm going to see if it works. If it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. Vesica Pisces. All right? If you really want to go back to the origin of God, you have to go back to the Vesica Pisces. What is that? A V. All right. So when you hear what a God is, it says God. When you hear what a God is, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm about to write it down. I'm about to keep writing with the thing. So when you think about what a God is, right, you're thinking origin. You have to have an origin. You have to be the beginning. You have to be before. You have to be the point of origin, right? So in order to be God. So the first God is women. How can you prove this? Because they gave you the secret. Goddess means it's God.
I typed it in, but didn't,
They gave you to God. This, it's God. That's what it means. God, it's God. So women are first. So you have to realize if the women are first, they had to separate us into male and female groups, right? To begin the reprogramming. So now we're no longer going to look at ourselves as separated, right? In any shape, form, or fashion, because now we can recognize our goddess and we can recognize that we're God. Because we are Hebrew and we're children of God, and so logically, for us to be here with them, we would have to, for us to be recreating, we would have to have the God. We would have to be mating with the God, the true God. So the God will only accept another God. So a black woman is the God. We just happen to be in her image because we are stemming from her as men. And then you understand you understand the picture I'm painting right here? You understand the picture? So really, black men, in order for us to achieve that power that we have to now treat our household. We have to create a complete household. You understand? Because without the woman running around and doing all these different things, wasting your seed and all these different things, you're destroying yourself. You're not taking time to recreate yourself because you don't have enough time to think. Because you're not cycling your semen back within yourself or cycling your semen into the energy center. Because your woman is your energy center. So if you're a God, I'm just giving people the aspects, the rules here, because these are logic. Because now that you know you're God, I have to tell you how to operate as a god or a goddess. So that way you don't get mixed up and hurt yourself. Just because you know that you're a god or goddess, now you got to know the rules. You got to know how this shit works.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you very much.
So, now that you know this, brother, when you go around and you try to take your seed and you're spreading it out this way, you're not creating an energy center. You are expending all of the energies that Yahweh or Netadaru, the ancestors, have placed inside of you.
Get it together.
Destroying yourself. Because you're not creating or recreating yourself as a clone, which then becomes a tether within yourself.
I'll swing by and pick it up.
Your child then becomes your tether.
Dr. Clark.
You understand? It's important to understand this because the more children you have then, the stronger you become as a god. But as a goddess they have this thing called the womb. And in the womb, all secrets exist, whether you want to admit it or not. All secrets. We pull all information from the darkness, from the composition. All right? So now the woman is different. When a woman she has to be careful about what spirit she lets inside of her womb. What does this mean? Meaning when a phallus enters your vagina, right? You have to be careful about what spirit that being is carrying. Do you want to entertain that spirit in your womb? Because it takes 3 months to get the spirit off you and 2 years to get their skin cells off of you. Do you understand the process here? So when you mix your energies as a goddess, you gain the powers of your god. So, say for instance, your god has the ability of, flight, or he can read minds, or he has prophecy, or they can do tongues, or they can, let's say he's Jesus, he can walk on water, right? Because you're laying with them and you're sharing their energy, he's pouring into you the energies that you're going to need to take in those powers that he's just provided to you. That's why you have to be very cautious as a goddess with whose energy you entertain. Because there are gods that know how to pull your energy through their phallus and destroy your abilities. And those gods are worse than parasites. That's when you find yourself as a woman addicted to something that you know that's killing you, that's destroying you. All right? And now that we know this, we're going to go now into addiction. Now that we know that we're gods, we have to go into addiction. Melanated beings are highly susceptible to addiction. All right? So the first thing that we have to overcome is that power that we already feel inside, right? Because if you don't walk in a certain way as a god, you won't be able to transcend time and space because you won't see the opportunities around you. No matter how much Ogun chops down all the leaves in front of you and the Chosi points the way, right? You still won't see the goal because you will be so trapped within your ego, right? Because you have to now quiet the ego. The reason we put ourselves in this situation is so that way we could see what it was like to be ruled by a lesser being. Please. So now, how do I say this? I'm gonna yelling this whole time. I need to calm down. I'm a little excited. I really am. Let me tell you why. Because I know somebody's listening, and I know somebody's getting this information, and for the rest of their life, they're never going to be the same. And if I got one, the enemy lost 1,000. Anyway, so the ego has to go next. All right? The ego has to go because if you don't have quiet ego, you'll hear thoughts. You see, when you go into your higher faculties, you'll start to hear thoughts. Your ego will speak more negativity in your world than any paranoia can. That's why you have to quiet your ego now that you know that you're a god. It's exciting This is wonderful because I'm making logic so that way we could come to a consensus, a solid consensus to create a new plane of existence. All right? I need to break down where we're at right now, okay? A dot is the first dimension. All right? A line, right? To a square, right? Second dimension, plane, just plane. Third dimension. All right, oh God, I'm so rusty at drawing, jeez. Cube, all right? That's the most terrible cube ever. Oh my God. Whew! Anyway, cube, all right? Right, that's a terrible cube. Oh my God! Ah! Anyway, cube, right? Third dimension. Now, this is how you can prove you're in the fourth dimension. All right? Where do we watch the third dimension? On TV. You're watching me now in what they would consider the third dimension. Thank you, brother. You're watching me now in what they would consider the third dimension. For the first time ever, our ancestors and you and I, we can see ourselves inside of something. So that means we're in a place of thought. What can we put in that thing? What can we put in that place of entertainment? That space that they call the media. That place that they call the media. What can I put in there? What images? Thank you very much, brother. What images can I put there, right? That will then give me a better footing in this existence. See, that's the ego. Your goal, once you come to realize that you're a God, is to look someone in the eye, recognize who they are, love them from a distance, love them for what they are, shake their hand, high fives. Great, I just ran into you because we're conscious. We know that we're there, but we cannot keep revealing our secrets to those that are not worthy. Because if you cast your pearls before swine, they will look at you and they will be furious that you gave it to them, and they will stomp upon them and then attack you for it. All right. So now that we're in the fourth dimension, right, we see inside this place, we have to make sure what do we do in the third dimension, which is now that we recognize we're not the body, right? We're not the body because this is third dimension still. Because now that you see it inside something and you see it on yourself, you recognize now you're not the body, you're in the fourth dimension. Those of you who are in the fourth dimension are in the plane of what I like to call thought. This is where logic meets creativity, thought. Because, all right, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna get better at these drawing things, guys. Anyway, yeah. So this is where logic meets creativity, all right, in thought. So this is where you can become confused and think you're still in the third dimension, because your thought can trick you and say, logically, I'm the body. That's why I have to protect my body, because logically, I'm the body. But then your creative mind can say, but there's got to be something more to this shit. I don't know about this. Are you sure we're the body? You know how Cat Williams said, are you sure I'm a tiger? I don't feel very much like a tiger. You understand? So once you come into the plane of thought, now you could go into the plane of spirit. Now, the spirit is what guides you. Go ahead, young man, if you're going to go. The spirit is what guides you. All right? When you go into, the spirit is beyond thought. When you move in spirit, you're moving in your true essence. How do you get there? Through your breath. Controlling yourself through your breath. Not allowing anything to get into your auric field or destroy you or offset you in any shape, form, or fashion. This is how you escape the fourth dimension. This is where marijuana takes you. The fourth dimension. This is where marijuana takes you. This is how you escape the fourth dimension and get into the fifth dimension. When you stop listening to the thought and stop being the thought and observing the thought. That's when you start observing the thought. I knew that was going to fall. I looked at it. I said it's going to fall. And I said, I ain't going to do nothing, though, if it ain't moving. You understand? No, it's all right. All right? That's when you stop thinking that you're even the thought. That's when you can become the God. That's when you go from no longer being the reactor, but instead the cause in your world. That's when you start to cause things to happen. That's when you can start to cause your powers to actualize, because your ego's quiet enough for you to control your thoughts, because your ego will create a whole bunch of thoughts as well, because these are different bodies. These are different bodies that you have overcome, different levels of consciousness that you have overcome. But just because you've overcome them in the past life does not mean does not mean that you don't have to overcome it this life. Peace, God. Does not mean you don't have to overcome it this life. All right? This is all simple logic. All right? So, now that we understand this, we have to recognize that we can also do programming to our bodies. One of the best ways of programming is incantation. What is incantation? Incantation is music. That is what incantation is. Music is magic.
Control the music, control the people.
Pray. Say it again, brother. Say, I don't think they heard you. Say it one more time.
Adolf Hitler said, you control the music, you control the people. Control the music, control the people.
Control the music, control the people. All right? Why is that? Because music, when you're not conscious enough, influences your thoughts. So it then cripples your ability of creating the realm that you want to see, that you want to be in. Because now you're more dependent, right? You're more dependent on the outside force, on the outside physical forces to give you inspiration. When really inspiration starts inside. Inspire. So you're in the spire up the Jacob's ladder. Inspire. It starts inside, but you're seeking the outside to give you those thoughts, right? So that's what programming is, right? So now the solution, now that you know you're your God, now that you know how to operate sexually, right? So that way you protect yourself. Now that you know how to operate when it comes to the mentality, right? We're going to operate when it comes to programming. Okay? Because we have delicate minds. Even though our minds are powerful, they're still delicate. They're still recovering from years of rape, still recovering from years of molestation, still recovering from years of destruction, of deceit, of lies. They're still recovering from centuries of hope deferred, because we keep looking outside of ourselves. We keep looking for things outside of our people, because that's the reason why we are supposed to be to our people, because you can only truly relate to those who come from your culture. You can't let somebody from an outside culture, I don't give a damn if it's a Hamite. You can't let somebody, just because they look like you and they come from outside of your culture, guide you, or you'll be destroyed. You understand me? And this is what happens when we allow our media, our music, when we don't train ourselves and program ourselves with our music and instead bring their music, because now their programming is what's going to work. And we do not know how many layers is on a track, because I used to make a lot of music. And then I decided one day it just wasn't important enough. I just was like, what's important about this? Even if you create it, they will listen to it and not really understand what they're getting. Because I created layers. So if I created layers, I know they've created layers. Subliminal messaging is what they call that, right? That's what they call that, right? Subliminal messaging. Things you don't even know you're hearing, but you're hearing it. Come on. All right, so anyway, now that we understand now the programming, now we have to understand now how to continue to move forward in this, right? I'm going to tell you something about Psalms 1, right? It says, Psalms 1 says, do not walk with the evildoer. No, do not stand in the way of the sinner. Do not walk with the evildoer, not sit in the seat of the scornful, right? This is what Psalms 1 says, right? And, and I appreciate Psalms 1 for saying that, right? This is how you're going to begin to operate as gods and goddesses, right? We're going to come together, right? Right? We're going to recognize ourselves as consciousness, and we're going to come together, right? Quietly and efficiently, right? We're going to come to this consensus that we understand this, and we're going to start to operate like this. Now, a lot of people say, oh, I'm not ready to operate like that. I got to warm up, and I got to get to that point. I got to push myself in this direction. I have to think my way to, I have to motivate myself to, you have to motivate yourself to live. If you have to motivate yourself to live, please get the hell off this channel. You have wasted some of my valuable time. Because you're not hungry enough to survive yet. And you'll just have to come back, you'll just have to perish and come back to life. We love you. Thank you. I saw some people leave. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Please. All right? Because this is, at this point, if you don't change now, because there is no such thing as changing in the future. The future can't exist had not the present been now. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead and say what you got to say.
Procrastination is a thief of time. Can't wait too long.
So if you're talking about waiting, and you have to figure out all this other stuff to move forward in your life, then you're a fool. Because all it takes is buying one thing at a time with a paycheck to build whatever you need to build. Whether it's a workshop, whether it's a place, a store, or you're making music, or you're making or you're doing, I don't know, welding, whatever your craft is. All you have to do is buy one piece of your equipment every time you get paid. And that's how you pay yourself. Right? That's how you'll pay yourself. And the rest of what you get goes into savings and then goes into bills. And I guarantee you'll look up and be like, oh, shoot, a month passed and I already got half the stuff I need to get started in my realm, to do what I need to do for myself. You see, that's why procrastination is so dangerous. Because what you'll say is, oh, I'm not ready to go just yet. I don't want to offend you. Great peace have they which love thy law. Nothing shall offend them. Nothing shall offend them. Remember that. All right, Mike? All right, Michael. Remember that. Don't curse me or anything. All right, buddy. But I just, I want you to, no, I just can't get started just yet. That's foolery. What's the reason? Oh, because I don't have the money. I just told you how to do it. I just told you how to use your talent. And talent in both ways. I just showed you how to do it. Oh, I don't have I'm not sure, my doctor says I shouldn't do it. Well, we can show you where the research is at. Or better yet, how about you come to us with what your doctor said, and then we look at what your doctor said, and we all come together as a community, because we're creating a new consensus now that the impossible is possible. We're creating this consensus because faith without works is dead. We're going to have faith in this that we're saying, what we're saying, because our minds are that powerful, right? And we're the children of Yahweh, right? We're the children of Jehovah, right? So that means when any of us come together and we come to a consensus, it will be done in the Father's name. So imagine if 100 of us come together, and right now we have 78, 79 on the channel. Imagine if every single person came together and came to that consensus, because this is a science. This kind of science I'm teaching you right now is called noetics. They have been doing this for years. They realized somewhere along the line they were not inventing shit, but imagining shit. They didn't invent anything. They said, oh my God, we can't let this secret get out there. We didn't invent anything. We've been imagining everything and imagining how it should work, and then it worked that way because enough of us were working towards it to make it a possibility. So now we're going to come to these new possibilities. Okay.
The other one on YouTube is taking 30 minutes
Okay.
to upload.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so yeah, I'm sorry about that. Everybody telling me calm down and start wrapping it up. So anyway, all right.
No, you don't gotta calm down.
Oh, no,
I just
no,
don't
I
want
mean,
it
not
to
calm
be
down,
so long
but-
that we
yeah.
can't download it.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So yeah, they don't want to make it too long. So please forgive me. But that's why I try to condense it as quickly as possible. And I'm not even sure. I'm telling you, channeling is off the chain because I'm not even sure how it came out of me that way. But praise Yahweh. All right. Now, I'm telling you right now. All right. You have to start operating in this fashion immediately. You don't have a time. We don't have a time for relaxation anymore. All right. They're already preparing for martial law. Look at what Trump is doing. He's already preparing to battle our ancestors that are in spaceships, waiting for us. Now, how can we prove this? Why in the hell did he get a What do we need a space division for? A space division for our military for? But yet he got the Senate to sign. And he signed for this shit. You see, these are things that's happening around us right now. These are things we're dealing with beings and people that we believe it's impossible, right? But if I just told you what noetics is, right? Noetics means you have to come to a consensus with enough people, with enough power, with enough will, that makes it happen. These beings, because of what's happened in the realm, right? Knowing what I just told you, right? People who are Bible thumpers, we have more Bible thumpers than anything else in this world right now, right? They're going to force the Bible to come true with their minds. And now as gods and goddesses, when the time comes, because it's coming really soon, right? We can vibrate out because with our minds, we can create our own reality. We cannot allow our reality to be created by them. There's a reason we ain't coming back for 3,000 years. It's because where we're going is 3,000 years in the future. Those of you who can change your mind in time. We're going to appear 3,000 years in the future. We're going to avoid all of the bull that's about to happen. But you can only do this with a powerful mind. And it first starts with logic. And logic says that we're God. And as far as I'm concerned, God is a creator. So let us create a new reality for ourselves immediately. Ashe.
Me and peanut butter crackers. So sorry. Thank you all for joining the live as always. This is being uploaded to YouTube. Literally, the ones that we did the past 2 weeks, I'm uploading them now because they're long. They take almost 30 minutes to upload, but they're being uploaded now. Thank y'all for joining the live. Please go follow our YouTube so that you can watch this over and over and over and over if you need to. Our YouTube is Comedic Science Institute. That is our channel. You'll know because you will actually see all of our faces in the profile picture. So,
Can I say one more thing, girl?
yeah, of course.
Sure, guns. The gun was the tongue created the gun, so how could the gun be mightier than the tongue? That is such follery. But that's the logic we're dealing with, though.
It's okay. The other day, I was posting about farming. A guy said we need to develop armies before we develop farms. And I said I never knew an army that begged their enemy for food.
Oh, that's interesting. That is very powerful. And I realize a lot of people have been messaging about consultation and all these different things, and they really want to have a chance to sit down with me and really learn. I have no problem doing that. If you're interested in consultation, my times are my days are Wednesday, Thursday. No, I'll take that back. I want to say Friday and Saturday. And you know why I'm going to say Friday and Saturday? I'm going to say Friday and Saturday because That's a Sabbath, and we should be communing that day anyway, right? We should be communing that day. And really, this is not work for me. It's nothing in the spirit is work, because it's not physical. You understand? This will be a chance for you to release, and that's a perfect time for you to release when your soul should be at rest. So all of that pain can be just poured out of you, and we can get to the bottom of the situation, or whatever the situation may be. So yes, Friday and Saturday. Please reach out to us and schedule your time. If you have special, how do I say special? Like if they have if you have special scheduling, like you say for instance Friday and Saturday just doesn't work, we could work around that. The first 30 minutes of my consultation is free. After that, it is $50 an hour. Please bring a notebook and pad. A notebook and pen, because listen, I'm teaching you. I'm really teaching you, because by reprogramming your mind, you save yourself a lot of time in this destructive place. Peace.
All right, so y'all got all of that. As always, our website is comedicscienceinstitute.com. Our website is comedicscienceinstitute.com. This is nothing like church, baby. You your own God. We're not telling you anything you have to do. You decide what you want to do. You decide what you want to do. We just providing you with information and parts of thought. Anyway, our store is located at 1001 Suite S, East W.T. Harris Boulevard. That's in Charlotte, North Carolina, 28213. Our phone number is 704-910-6783.
We're eating that, man. I need to see this kid's personality. He ain't saying nothing the whole time. I'm glad you're here, kid. Your mama really
Let's
missed you.
see.
And you being here motivates her. Glad you're here, kiddo.
People really be like beefing in the comments.
What they beefing?
Y'all don't get to see how I see the comments all day.
What they beefing in the comments? What they saying?
They always want to fight in the comments.
Mommy.
But we ain't even about that.
Mommy.
Oh, the phone number is 704. Yes, baby. You don't want it? Okay.
I'm so glad I got
The
that
phone
on
number is 704-910-6783.
People be like, oh, you always be bringing the problems. You say that to the conscious community, right? This is how you know you're real, right? This is how they know it's real, right?
If you need to order, our website is comedicscienceinstitute.com. It's in our bio. KEMETICIENCINSTITUTE.com. And the live's about to log off. So
They don't want that.
y'all got.
We're gonna find out.
Keep asking questions.
I apologize to all of our followers who came here for the love. We did have some trolls. It's hard for me to monitor the trolls while we're teaching, so I apologize to y'all for that. But hopefully it wasn't too bad today. We'll try to do better. Again, if y'all want to watch the live over again, you can always go watch it on the YouTube. We don't upload it immediately. So, again, give me like a week. I'm uploading the ones from last month now. So, you'll be able to watch those. Yes, we have book recommendations on site. No, I call it fighting because sometimes they like really like just go in on other people, like strangers they don't know. If you feel the need to like call somebody names that you never met and you don't know, that's fighting them. It's unnecessary. It's not a positive energy. So if y'all have any questions, always hop in the DMs. Other than that, go back, look at it. Y'all can always hit us up, call us, get information on the website. Peace. Have a good night.